Sports Back Talk with Boly and Ringer, and Mike, I see you're wearing your purple shirt in honor of the great job that the Vikings did yesterday on Sunday against the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah, that was pretty horrendous, wasn't it?
I was busy yesterday afternoon. I got to watch about the last 4 minutes, and I was probably good that I didn't get to watch the rest of it from everybody else.
Well, it's one of those games where, you kind of watch the first quarter and you say, we just can't win this game. You kind of knew right away that Pittsburgh was a better team. We had a backup quarterback, and he really is a backup quarterback. He's the definition of, picture of him, the dictionary, under backup quarterback, a picture of Case Keenum would show up. Okay?
Because?
He just, and then the Kaepernick conspiracy people came out yesterday too, thinking maybe they're doing this to put Kaepernick in, but we'll see. Case Keenum played for Houston, played for the Rams. Getting 6 games a year, you'd think he'd be a little better, but he isn't ready for prime time.
I did hear part of it on the radio while I was busy, and I know that let's just say Pete Bursich and Mr. Lieber and PA were not being very kind to the offense yesterday. Around halftime. They were really laying it on pretty thick about how pathetic they looked and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, and they were throwing Case Keenum under the bus, essentially, saying that the Steelers are mixing things up and throwing things at him that he wasn't expecting and all the rest of the stuff. So, it just didn't sound like things didn't go well. And then, of course, I'm kind of interested because they showed pictures of Bradford trying to throw yesterday, and it didn't look good. And then today they listed him as day-to-day, like he could be going at any time. And I'm just like...
Yeah, Coach Zimmer wasn't real friendly to the press after the game. Lots of, how do I say, he was getting rather upset. Verbally, yeah, and then eventually they said, well, how long is he out? He said, well, it could be one more game. He could play next week, or he could be out 6 weeks. And then the press took that as a shot. Let's quit asking, which Zimmer was trying to say, don't ask that question anymore. And the press didn't read that real well. And so Zimmer, I heard his press conference today. He apologized to the press, which usually doesn't happen. And he said, I guess I'm just tired of having to answer that question. But he told the press he was probably playing Friday. Not to worry, the press shouldn't, don't worry about it. Bradford's good to go. I think Bradford let him down a little bit too, because of the injuries. You either play hurt or you're injured. If you can't play hurt, then that kind of tells me a little bit about something. He's also in a contract year. This is his last year of contract, so he doesn't want to miss multiple games due to that. Not just for the Vikings, but also for another team that might be interested in a guy that throws 5-yard outs and completes 80% of his passes.
Ooh! So you've already forgotten about last Monday night.
Look at
you've already forgotten about last.
Seriously, Brady sat back. Did you see that? Same team, New Orleans. Yeah. Okay, Brady sat back and just handed the ball off or threw the ball. I think he had 388 yards passing, 3 or 4 touchdown passes. Although Bradford had a great game, he looked good.
No, we're not saying Sam Bradford is. You're not trying.
No, I'm just saying.
Compare, right?
If the score, Brady could have kept just tossing touchdown passes.
Okay.
They slowed her down in the third quarter just to keep it out of respect.
Respect.
Yeah. That's what you do in professional football. You don't
pour it on. You don't go 73 to nothing.
You don't go Nordy on him and start scoring 80, 90 points, and then 5 years later those coaches come in. Oh, I love Nordy. He didn't do that. But no, I mean, there's a little etiquette out there.
So what else did you see yesterday? What else caught your eye? We had the lightning storm in Denver, and
well, it was a real thriller on the other channel
with the Rams and
actually the Rams and the Redskins came on.
Right during the lightning.
Yeah, and then the opening day. Who'd Chicago play?
Chicago played Tampa.
Okay, that wasn't a...
No, that was
The Jets are out. Jets in Oakland. And I had Marshawn.
They're trying to go Heidi on that, probably.
Yeah, I had Marshawn in that game, and they basically took him out after the first half. That game was well in hand.
I watched that game.
Threw two-yard touchdown passes or something, and don't give the ball to my boy.
So you were a little upset.
It's typical Derek Carr, padding his stats. And I had the ball to Marshawn and let him beast mode it in. Right? That's what I wanted.
Doesn't the offense coordinator have something to say about that?
No. Another big surprise, Carolina's 2-0.
Who they played?
Looked just awful.
Who they play? They won 9-3. They didn't score a touchdown yesterday.
No, that was just as bad the first game. The thing is, my mind, I can't go back 2 weeks anymore.
Can your parents talk to you about this?
Yeah, I honestly, I have no idea who they played, but it's. I couldn't believe the score. I don't know. We talked about Cleveland played on Thursday night against Houston, or Cincinnati played at home against Houston on Thursday night, 13-9. The NFL's going to have to wisen up that they're going to have to start putting a better game on Thursday nights, or people aren't going to watch.
No.
One touchdown in 60 minutes of football.
Yeah, and you go on the Twitter world, and they aren't really talking about the games.
Listen, you want to talk about your how'd your fantasy team do? So we
fantasy team, I'm right there. We need 17 out of our quarterback Stafford tonight, which he should get. Sonoris Jenkins is out, so that's a good thing. Sonoris Jenkins is a shutdown corner for the Giants, and he shut down Des Bryant pretty good the week before. So I just heard that about an hour ago. So that's a big plus. So I need 17 out of Stafford. He averages about 20 to 22 a game. So if he just does his
normal,
last week he got 29, so it should be a good matchup for him with Jenkins out, and I like my chances. 2-0 in both leagues. What do you think of that?
That's pretty good. Who'd you pick up for your David Johnson injury?
We picked up a guy by the name of Javoris Allen. Oh, who? Don't know him.
Did you know him before last week?
Of course I did. 101 total yards yesterday and a touchdown.
Who's he play for?
Baltimore. He replaced Danny Woodhead.
Okay.
So it's a heck of a pickup. I got a little help from my nephews. My nephews both watched the show last week.
So all of a sudden you started getting all kinds of tweets and texts.
The method to my madness were, both of them got a hold of me as soon as they saw it, because I sent it to them, and I said, you guys have to watch this. I brought the family up in the show, and both of them were just, how can you do that to us? I said, hey, our audience is like 5 deep.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay? So it doesn't go out to, it does, it's available for everybody, but not everybody.
Everybody else is taking advantage of it.
But it was a good move. We picked up Jenkins. We ended up getting Shane Vereen too. So David Johnson's hurt. He's out for 10 to 12 weeks, and we'll see how it goes.
We'll move on to the Twins of the Wild next.
Well, let's talk about the Twins. They're 2 games up in the American League wild card race. They are 3 behind, I believe, the Yankees, and they play tonight. They probably already started. Any updates?
That's why I was waiting in the vehicle while you were chatting outside. I was listening to Santana get the final strikeout in the bottom of the second inning. Twins down 1-0.
They got one on us already. Judge hit one.
Judge hit one.
He did.
His 44th. And the scary part about that, I think he had 35 at the All-Star break. So it's almost 2 months since the All-Star break. He's had 9 home runs, and
he's had more than Snow since
he has had more than Snow. You do have that right. And I just wonder what. Well, you brought up the Snow thing. What's really going on? Did they not tell us how badly it was hurt? Are they trying to protect him because things are going so well that they don't want to rile things up, or is it just it hasn't healed correctly? What's your feeling on that?
Well, obviously it's worse than they first thought, and then I guess he went out to New York more for some legal issues. I don't know about a passport issue or what have you.
Okay.
He didn't go out with the team, then he was heading back to Minneapolis immediately after the night's game and to get more treatment. So I don't foresee him. We really haven't missed him. I hate saying
No,
that. I hate saying
Isn't that hard to believe?
I
The
think
guy who hit
Escobar,
how many, you know-
Escobar is a solid player.
Yeah.
You know, plus he gets some clutch hits. I like clutch players. So, and Escobar's at.
Okay, we could use him as a DH though, don't you think? Wouldn't he be better than, say, Robbie Grossman batting ninth
Yeah.
as the DH? I mean, it'd be nice to have a little pop, more pop.
Well, he had some
Because the Twins
danger.
have been hitting some home runs recently.
Yeah, he had some danger. I mean, if you notice how Mauer's kind of taken off with him on the lineup, Mauer, and he's my boy again.
He's come back into the fold.
After I threw him off the bus there for about a month, and actually about 3 years.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I've been just as critical of Joe, and Joe has the batting average right around the 300 mark, and it's
400 since the All-Star break.
Really, I didn't hear that.
So what do they got to do here? They've got 3 with
3 with New York, 4 in Detroit,
4 in Detroit. Well,
and I think it's 4 in Cleveland. I think, and then 3 to finish with Detroit.
Yeah, 4. Okay, but anyways, I think 13 games left. I say they go 6 and 7. They're in. So anything better than that. Now you do realize Angels open up with Cleveland tomorrow night.
I did not realize that.
So they open with Cleveland. They got 3 with Cleveland. After that, they got 3 with Houston.
Ooh.
So if they win 1 of 3, 1 of 3, that's 4 games the Twins can pick up. I figured the Twins go 6 and 7 or better. They'll at least get in a playoff game.
Okay. I could.
And they could very well go 6 and 7. You got to understand most of the games that they have left, 10 of them are on the road.
That's correct.
3 are at home. So they finish off with Detroit. Detroit's checked out.
Yeah, they're playing for next season.
Yeah. And,
no doubt about that.
They're big boppers. Cabrera's not really into it, and Martinez, and they're not doing much right now. Their pitching staff's pretty suspect. They're going to try some young arms, see how they work out. And, the way the Twins can get on a roll, hitting that ball around, I foresee the Twins will do probably 5 and 7 against Detroit. There's 5 wins right there.
Twins probably would end up playing the Yankees. We would suspect if they do make the playoffs. Does it matter what happens in these 3 games?
Oh, absolutely.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, if they have to play that 1-game series.
Well, here's the deal. They get swept by the Yankees. Now they give the Angels that opening. Okay, the Angels can win 2, and we're right back to the Angels being up on top, or at least tied. So you got to win every game. You got to take them with the old cliche, 1 game at a time.
But will it matter in the playoff game? Let's say we lose all 3 here. Does it matter that we go back there in 2 weeks and have to play them again, even though we might get swept here? Does it matter? You're still holding that 1-game theory. Bring out Irvin Santana against their best pitcher. We win.
No, they've already named the 2 starters
for the
playoff game. Yeah, but Santana and then some guy I didn't know.
Wow.
It's not any of the 3 that are pitching this week. Like Sabathia, and then we got the guy we had today. Who was that? The lefty. We got in that one trade. We got him for 1 day, and then traded him.
From Atlanta. I can't think of his name right now.
Yeah, he's
I know what you're talking about.
Nice player. He's like a Dominican Republic, Puerto Rican.
Yep.
So we'll see. Sabathia and then Tanaka pitches the 3rd game of the series. We got our 2 aces, Berrios and Santana, and I believe, to my surprise, we're throwing Cologne out there again. And
you're not in the mood for big sexy.
No.
You think that the mojo is gone.
Well, yeah, it's typical Minnesota stuff. We don't care if we win. We like the cute, fun, happy stuff. That's what the big sexy thing is.
That's why the Gophers wear the Gopher emblem on because we're just.
I'm proud of my Gophers. They're my Gophers now. Yeah, but we'll get to that later. But anyways, yeah, the big sexy thing. Let's finish that. Gibson, tough outing yesterday, but he got through it. Molitor said he was going to pull him about 5 different times. Kept him in, got the win. He's 11-10 with a 5.06 ERA. But
that's good clean living right there.
I bet his ERA had to be up around 8 before this recent streak, because he's had less than a 2.0 ERA the last 6-7 games. So pretty impressive with Gibson. He's doing what they expected him to do 3 years ago, and hopefully it's a sign of things to come, because they're going to need him.
Absolutely. Yeah, things that look good. The Twins hit a couple of walk-off home runs in the 10th last week, and things happen. They're definitely keeping it exciting.
Yeah, that's what you like. I mean, it's fun. Hopefully they bring it to the bring it to the last 3 games of the year against Detroit. Hopefully they're either up or tied going into those last 3 games. And it's good to play under pressure. Right?
Yeah.
Anybody can go out there and get a hit with 2 down in the 8th and you're down 8-0. What I want to see is how do you do with bases loaded, 2 outs, bottom of the 9th, and down by 2.
Yeah.
And we've done well. I mean, Buxton hit a walk-off, Rosario hit a walk-off, Mauer goes grand yard yesterday. That's some pretty good stuff. Good comeback by the Twins, and they're a fun team to watch. It's only going to get better over the next 5 years.
And I think if I go back to our one of our April shows when we first were previewing the Twins, I think we talked about like 73, 75 wins. We were going to be happy
I said
with that.
I said 87. I don't know what you said. I said 87 wins. Where they at?
78 after yesterday. 78
So
wins.
I'm right
after
on pace to be correct.
So if they get to, it's a sad to say, but you could win maybe 82 games, 83 games,
Yeah.
and make the playoffs be 83 and 79 and make the playoffs. But it is what it is. So you go do what you got to go do.
Yeah, so we'll have fun with that. And but did I tell you?
I suspect not.
Oh, okay. Otherwise I wouldn't have said that. I think we're going to do the show at the bowling alley next week.
Show at the bowling alley. So you're going to let me start talking, and you're going to go bowl frame.
No.
And then we'll come back. And,
We're going to talk bowling.
okay. I talk bowling on my Saturday show, so I'd love to come and watch you have to pick up the old 710 spare and see the skills.
Well, I talked to Ralph Rule and Barry Miller. They're pretty active in our area community bowling associations.
Okay.
And I guess the whole idea is to go there. We're going to ask them about how many leagues we got, because I know bowling's dropped off in town here over the last probably 20 years, and see how many leagues they got, see if they got openings, try to let people know that there's openings in certain leagues, and we get people down there. It's a good, fun recreational activity, and we got for the size of our town, we got some really good bowlers. We got Julian Kid, Ralph, we got Franks, Sandberg, one of your teachers. These guys are good bowlers.
Jeff
Mace is very good.
Very good.
I mean, we got good bowlers per capita. I said per capita, we got probably one of the best group of bowlers in the state. So I'm not one of them. I did have to bowl tonight because I had to miss last week. Well,
how's the
my average ended up 161 for my 3 games.
Oh,
I bowled a 188 my last one. I opened in the 10th, and otherwise I would have got a nice 200 game. But the BCEC, the big boys, started to show up and they put pressure on me. So, anyways, that's what we're going to do next week. I'll meet you at the bowling alley about 6 o'clock next week.
Okay.
We'll take 1 week off from Looney's, and then we'll be back here again right after that. So, anyways, thought I'd bring that up as long as we were talking about bowling, which we weren't.
Yeah. Fair enough. How about the Minnesota Wild? First preseason game tonight. I have no idea who they're playing.
Winnipeg.
Okay.
And Winnipeg's loaded. They basically played their top 3 lines.
Okay.
We're sending, I think, our 3rd and 4th line mix. None of their D are pretty well scattered. I think Riley's playing tonight, and Olofsson. And we got a couple battles back there for defensemen. Quincy, Olofsson, Riley are basically playing for 2 of the final spots.
Okay.
So, and I still don't count out this Carson Soucy, played for UMD the last 4 years. I really like his game. He's 6'4".
You want a big defenseman, is what you want.
Big D, and we're pretty set in our top 4. And a guy brought up on Twitter, and I found it interesting, that the Wild are trying to formulate the same type of pressure that the Nashville Predators do, which makes total sense. If you think about Nashville and the Wild, you have Roman Josi, we have Ryan Suter, very similar players. They have PK Subban, we have Matt Dumba, very similar players. Aggressive, get caught, get beat once in a while, but very skilled. We got Jonas Brodin, they got Matthias Ekholm.
Okay.
Big defensemen, they're both Swedes, very similar. And then we got Jared Spurgeon, they got, the last one's missing, but very good defenseman, and it's very similar. They're both small, both move the puck. So I think Boudreau's trying to implement that system. I heard Russo talking about today. It's more in the neutral zone. They're going to be a little more aggressive, be a little more attacking with their defensemen. So I have some high expectations of the Wild this year, right? Boudreaux does too, and I like the acquisitions we made. I hate to lose Scandella, but I think if we were going to lose one guy, he was going to be back on the defensive side. I'm not too worried about losing Halla or Tuck or any of them guys, but I like the core. I like Ennis. I like Foligno, who just signed. Looks like Mikko Koivu was going to sign an extension of 2 more years for much less money. I'm guessing $4 million per for the 2019-2020 seasons. But they were working on that today, and hopefully they get him signed for the next 2 years after this. And I like the team. I like the 4 lines. I like our 4 top D. And if
you like Cullen?
I love Cullen.
I didn't have to answer that.
You know why I like him the most?
Because he's from Minnesota.
No. Because his uncle's Junior. My boy Junior. Okay. The border bar magnet, I call him. He shows up Sunday and then he's a dancing machine.
There you go.
It's Chuck Ferris to shave. But anyways, the reason I like Matt Cullen is he's a 4th line center. And he was a 4th line center with Pittsburgh, but he's good enough to play power play, penalty kill, 4-on-4, and he'll push the guys playing the 2nd and 3rd line roles. So if Stahl decides to take a night off, Nino, who tends to do that once in a while, Boudreaux always knows he has Cullen back there to come up and take a top 9 player.
Sure.
So that's why I like Cullen the most. He's going to keep everybody excited to play, and if they don't play well, I shouldn't say well, but if you don't play hard, there's no excuse for not playing hard. You're not going to have your A game every night as far as hands and stuff, but you always should play hard. And if that guy decides to take off a night, he can move Cullen into those spots and push those guys. So that's the big reason I like Matt Cullen. He's 40 years old, and I think he's a better skater now than he was when he was 25.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Crazy? Did I see something the other day about he's not 100%, he's not even close?
Yeah, there's always, he's had back issues before, probably from taking so many cross checks in front of the net all those years. And the only thing that bothers me a little bit about it is he was playing in the Beauty League, much talked about, where there's a lot of professional hockey players, they play out of Braemar. And he was playing in that every week.
When did this league start? Because I saw more about it on Facebook and the internet this summer than I ever had before. What is it? Just a way to get some money for some cause, or what's the deal?
I guarantee the players pay for the ice time. They have to pay for that ice time, but
they bring the people in. People pay to get in.
Yeah, I don't know that.
Okay.
I can't say that.
Okay.
They shouldn't if they are. I mean, that'd be sad if they're charging people. Because basically, like when we used to play when we came back from college and stuff, we all played night league, and again, we're not talking the same caliber,
right?
But it was pretty darn good, and you just go out there and have fun and mess around, and try to score as many goals as you can. But the Beauty League probably has like 7 or 8 teams, and probably each team has 10 to 12 NHL players on them, so they're pretty well stacked.
Okay.
And the big thing was John Scott, the old Rebel Rouser. Yeah. He's involved in the trophy, I guess. It's kind of named after him.
Okay.
So he comes back for the final week and shows up, signs autographs. But, anyways, Parisi played all the time in that. I'd see his pictures on Twitter all the time. Of course, he's always good to the kids and fans, signing autographs and stuff. But I think with a bad back, he had to be real careful. And even though there's no checking in there's still some contact along the boards, and the way he plays, he's always mixing it up around the boards. And he could have tweaked it very easily there. I'm not saying he did, but I was a little surprised he played in that. And now that he's not starting the season in real good health, now I'm kind of concerned about it, because backs are a thing that stays with you forever, Ringer.
That's Freddie Couples.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, any sport, whether you're golfing or playing hockey or football, it's the same. So hopefully Parisi, because we're going to need him. I think the Wild have the team that can make a run as long as Dubnyk. And people say, well, Boly, Dubnyk's a great goalie. I say he's a very good goalie. They get comparisons to him and Corey Crawford. I said, the only difference between Corey Crawford and Dubnyk is Corey Crawford wins big games.
You made that point here before.
Okay. Dubnyk does well. His statistics are top 5 every year. But getting the playoffs, meaningful games, clutch games, you got to play the big games.
So you're trying to say those 2-1 games?
got the best goalie
that he does have the best goalie coach. Let's not even go there. So those 2-1 games, those were his fault. Those were his fault.
No. Just making that big save, to save
Save the game.
Save the game. Corey Crawford. How many times did he do that? The second time when the Wild played him, the Wild should have actually won that series. They lost 4-2, but the Wild were the better team.
Yep.
But Crawford stood on his head, made the big save. Kane to go down and stuff on top shelf, and game over. But I think the Wild. Are we predicting?
No, we'll wait.
Remember last year? You thought it was nuts. Remember I said Dallas?
I always think
Come on. Dallas would not make the playoffs. Remember that?
I remember
we can go back to the show.
You also, I think, said that the Wild were going to not something.
Oh, I would never say that. But I said Dallas, my team this year to not make it are the St. Louis Blues will not make the playoffs.
Okay.
So
is that a Yao coaching thing?
Oh yeah, his system will wear off on those guys. They also got some issues. Bomeister could have a serious injury. Heard that today, so he's one of their top 3D. I don't know. I just think that team didn't strengthen itself, and if anybody's going to drop off, it's going to be Sam. I still think Winnipeg's a top 3 in the Central.
Okay.
I think Nashville, the Wild, and Winnipeg are top 3.
So Chicago's
still
4
good.
5.
Boy, they let a lot go with Panarin. You got Hossa out for the year, so that's 2 of their top 6.
Money finally catching up. I mean, you can't have everybody getting these huge contracts. You guys got to let people go.
Yeah. So they got Saad back, which they kind of missed the Shaw and a Saad type player, but Saad is not a Panarin. Maybe they thought they had enough scoring, but I think Taves has to bring his game back, and I still think he's a top 5 player in the league, but last year he wasn't. So we'll see. I got Chicago put in at the 4 spot. 4 from each side will get in because Calgary's better, Edmonton's better, Anaheim will be there. Those 3 right there, right?
Yep.
Okay.
San Jose, LA.
So you got San Jose and LA, one of those. So I got 4 and 4 from each side.
Okay.
Las Vegas Knights scored 9 goals in their opening exhibition.
I did not see that.
Are you gonna go to a Vegas game?
I probably not go. I've got tickets to Winnipeg Wild on the 20th of October, up in Winnipeg.
How'd you get down?
I don't want to know.
Ringer,
I got a gift. I got 2 tickets coming.
You know the last time I was in a Winnipeg arena? Was it
1998? I don't know.
1974. Crap. But it's not the same arena.
No.
And Tim Sheehy was playing for the Hartford Whalers at the time.
Okay.
So we were down there for a tournament. Pee-wees, and we all got to go see Tim Sheehy play for the Hartford Whalers against the Winnipeg Jets.
You had to have thought that was pretty good stuff.
You know what the funny part about it is? You ever heard of a guy by the name of Bob Wojtowicz?
No.
He was a no-name defenseman on the Jets.
Okay.
But I liked his name. So I remember Tim Sheehy playing in the game and a guy by the name of Bob Wojtowicz.
Wojtowicz.
Probably had 2 career goals in his NBA. But anyways, Larry Poole was on that team too.
Okay.
So that was fun.
Yeah, I'll bet.
Yeah. So what else?
That's why we got to talk a little bit of Gopher football because you've got tickets to their next game, so we should talk a little bit.
And I'm proud to be a member of the row. I'm part of it now. I'm a fan. 3-0.
3-0.
Why wouldn't I jump on this wagon?
And did it without Brooks and
Who's the other one? Who's the other running back? Yeah.
Rodney Smith was there. He did well, and this new kid McCrabe.
He's a senior.
Well, he hasn't gotten. Well, I mean, in the fact that he hasn't really got a chance to show.
I'm starting. I mean, Fleck's a different guy. I mean, we've had the rah-rah coach before, and Wacker, and it was Brewster, boy. I think I like Brewster. Remember what movie, Brewster Million?
Yeah, I remember.
Richard Pryor.
Classic.
Yeah,
Classic.
But he was something. And then Jerry Kill, and then the guy after him who coached last year,
Tracy Clays.
Yep. They both badmouthed you after they were let go. I mean, that was kind of sad.
What? Okay, so they're 3-0 now. We probably figured that they might be 2-1 after this game. Everybody was, everybody was throwing them under the boat. So we got 9 Big Ten games.
Yeah.
What record are we going to have in the Big Ten?
Well, my brother asked me that very same question tonight.
Wise. He's wise, your brother.
At Boly.
And you said?
I say they'll win 2 Big Ten games.
Okay.
He said 0.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
He's brother Gerald Bolstead. That's
Gerald Bolstead, dude.
0 games.
Wow.
Yeah. I got to win at 2, and I hope I'm wrong. I mean, they proved me wrong already this year, and if they win 2, they would get to 5 and 6, which
5 and 7.
5 and 7, maybe might get them in some bowl in Alaska or something. They would probably get in some bowl. But I hope they win 3 or 4.
Well, they start with Maryland, and when you go down.
Well, Lloyd said they're going to win. They're going to be 7-0.
7.
They'll be 7-0 before things get serious. So he's saying they're going to win their first 4 Big Ten games against Maryland. That's the first one.
I like their chances.
Purdue on the road.
I like their chances.
Michigan State is 3rd, and then Illinois is 4th.
Where's the Michigan State game at? At Minnesota?
That Michigan State game, I think, is.
If it's at Michigan State, I have a hard time believing they can win that.
I'm not sure. So, but they end with Nebraska, Iowa, Wisconsin, Northwestern,
Michigan's in there, I think, somewhere.
and
too.
Michigan.
We'll see. We should maybe get the schedule. That wouldn't be that hard.
It would not be that hard, but it's more fun to sit here and speculate. I say they're going to win 3. They're going to get to 6 and 6, and we'll make a bowl game.
Okay, awesome. Who they playing in the bowl game?
There's so many bowl games.
109 teams.
So many games you could go to at 6 and 6. Why have you got tickets to a Gophers game? I mean,
my buddy Timmy bought them for me. He's a good friend of mine. He comes up here fishing all the time, and I get together with him at least twice during the summer. And with his wife Kathy, they're just wonderful people, and. He actually told me, "Boy, I'm going to bring you and Diana to a game," and he held true to his word, so we're going.
Cool. I get to go to St. John, St. Thomas this weekend at Target Field. So
who won?
This next Saturday.
Who's going to win?
I'm going to go Johnny's over the Tommies, 24-20. How's that sound for a prediction? Real close.
I'm going to go against the Barkowski family. I'm going to go with the Tommies. I just think St. Thomas has a little more better quarterback, first of all, and better defense. So if you have a better quarterback, they got the Jones kid, and then I think they got a better defense too. So I like
so first ever football game at Target Field. So I'm looking forward to that. I get to do my Saturday morning radio show from
Target Field, where the Twins play. They're going to on that field.
They're going to allow
this
them
weekend.
This Saturday, yes.
Do you think that's right?
Well, let me answer that question with this. Is the money right?
To be played short.
Is the money right? It's all about money, man. You know that.
Yeah, but
and St. Thomas is paying a boatload of money to have this game there.
Do they have a lot of money, that school?
Yeah. Plus, they're trying to set the all-time Division III record for the most people ever at a Division III football game.
Okay, that's this weekend.
That's this weekend. They're trying to get to 30,000. See, what happened was
Vikings are in town Sunday, so hey, it's possible.
What they did was they saw this big hole in the schedule, and they knew that they were playing St. John's, and
Does
they
PJ know about this?
Does PJ Fleck know about this? He has to. He'd have to be living in a.
Okay.
Yeah,
so they're going to allow the Tommies and the Johnnies out there before the U.
That's a fact. Like I said.
How about Molitor? Does he know?
Molitor's haven't known for a long time. I'm interested to see, are they going to put grass down? Are they going to let them play on top of the dirt? What's the deal? Are they going to try to stake some grass down?
I'm frankly stunned, Ringer. I can't believe they're doing it.
This game was announced back in November or early December.
So they were assuming the Twins weren't ever going to be in the middle of it.
Well, I mean, look at Oakland Stadium. You watched the Oakland game yesterday. You said you were enthralled. The Oakland A's have been playing on that same field. The NFL guys play on it. Yeah, is it going to be great? They had a Billy Joel concert there.
What's your favorite Billy Joel song?
You may be right.
No, what's your favorite song?
You may be right.
No, I said, what is your favorite Billy Joel song?
You may be right.
Really? Can you sing me a few bars?
No, I ain't singing for you or them.
I have two.
Two.
Piano Man, which everybody loves. We all think we can sing to that song. We all
Can't.
think we know the words. And then the Heart Attack, can't. That's pretty awesome. We did that distant. Actually, I think I asked Diana out to that song.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
She almost had a heart attack. Anyways, a little fun and humor. Got to throw a little of that out there. I'm done. I don't know.
Anything else?
We can make some stuff up, but I don't
Q&A
from
from over here?
Yeah, Q&A. We got White over there. Has a 3-0 all over his forehead.
He's ready to
Michigan
go.
State, it's at the Gophers.
Michigan State is at home on the 14th of October.
Maryland, Purdue, at Purdue, Michigan State here, Illinois here, Iowa, Michigan, Nebraska.
I can see why you got him going
Northwestern.
4-0. I have to believe. We don't play Michigan?
No,
Okay, so that's good. I like it.
Like I said, they did some nice things. I'm not saying that Middle Tennessee State or Oregon State or Buffalo are any power.
Middle Tennessee State came in with a pretty good reputation.
They got revenge for the basketball team. That's what
Oh,
I'll
they sure did. Ooh. What's her nickname?
what I like
The
about
Blue Hens?
Dean, no, that's Delaware. The Blue
Who's the famous quarterback that played at Delaware?
Flacco?
Yeah. He was a Viking. Then he was playing for the Oakland Raiders in the Super Bowl. Quarterback against Brad Johnson. Rich Gannon.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Rich Gannon did play for Delaware. Wow, trivia.
Yeah.
Bam, right there.
Questions?
What else? Anything?
what I like about the Gophers, they don't make too many dumb mistakes nowadays.
It's a good point. But,
I agree. They don't make
I
mistakes.
think they're held accountable pretty well. You know, not in a threatening way, but, you know, he's such a guy. He's such a smooth talker.
He's got a gift.
But, you know, most smooth talkers, you know, have some BS behind him. He probably has a little bit, but I think he's pretty sincere. You know, and I hope he is.
You got any dirt on the quarterback issue? Oh, heaven's sakes, I knew I should.
I don't have anything on that.
On that situation?
I'm reading it as, and a lot of people I know I've heard on the radios and all that are assuming alcohol, drug. I'm assuming it's grades.
Okay, going to class?
That's a guess. I'm not here to defame or.
I heard somebody who speculated that it had something to do with playing one series, I think at Oregon State, or 2 series, and then didn't get to play again,
Isn't that bad?
and maybe pulled a Adrian Peterson and tried to show up the coach. But I don't know that because it sounded like it was disciplinary, and they told him to step away for whatever. And he's very talented, and you want your guys to be competitive. But and like I said, if that's the case,
We could sit here and guess all night. No, it doesn't do anybody any good because they're going to keep it in house, and I think that's where it belongs.
And I think Rhoda. The only scary part is if he gets hurt. Who's number 3 on the depth chart? I don't know. So. Who?
Seth the actor. Is it all the? Was it the one with Michael Myers?
Yep.
What show is that? No, the Michael Myers. He's a comedian. He has Mini Me.
Yeah.
With Austin Powers.
Yeah, Austin Powers. I think Seth. Seth is in that. Seth Green.
Yep. Sounds right. Are we done? Because we've migrated it.
I don't know where I'm going right now. I got a little off track early on in the show.
Three a little bit and took
Threw
you
me
out
a
of the game.
little bit, but again, a big crowd here again at Woody's and Woody's Brew. And we appreciate Woody's Brew's hospitality. All right.
Thanks,
Don't take
everybody.
this too serious.